Okay, so you're walking towards the kitchen at work, or maybe you step into the elevator and you see a colleague, and suddenly there's that little jolt of panic, that feeling of, oh no, what do I say? That worry that you'll sound awkward, or maybe just stand there in silence. We've all been there, right? It's the anxiety of professional small talk. You know these chats are important, but starting them can feel tricky, like walking through a minefield sometimes.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and we really need to be clear with you from the get-go. This isn't small talk in the sense of being unimportant. Not at all. At work, it's actually, I'd argue, one of the most powerful tools you have. Seriously. The strategies we've looked at, they all show these quick, light interactions. They're the bedrock. Building trust, making teamwork smoother, even opening up new opportunities. Stuff that just being good at your job won't get you. Exactly. And that's why we're here today. Our mission is to give you a kind of shortcut, a guide to getting fluent in these conversations at work. We want to show you exactly how the pros start, keep going, and then, importantly, wrap up these chats so you sound natural, friendly, and, confident every single time. All right, so let's dive into the first part, the essential opening moves. The basic rule here seems to be keep it light, keep it friendly, don't get too formal or heavy right away. But I gotta ask, the classic advice, like, hey, how's your morning going? Doesn't that sometimes feel a bit, well, meaningless, like the kind of fluff people just brush off?
That's a really good question because, yeah, if you just say it flatly and walk away, it could be fluff, definitely. But the strategy behind a simple opener like, how's your morning, is actually pretty smart. It's what you might call a high probability opener. It doesn't ask much of the other person, right? Easy to answer. And it signals you're open for a quick chat. The real skill, though, is in the follow-up. Top conversationalists use that quick, good thanks, as a launch pad, a bridge to something maybe a little more specific, something you both share in that moment.
Ah, okay. So the answer itself isn't the main goal. It's about getting the ball rolling, building a little momentum.
Precisely. Look at the other good examples we found. Things like, did you catch the news today? That taps into something external, shared, but usually not too controversial. Or right after you've both been in the same meeting. Wow, that meeting was intense, wasn't it? Instant connection. You're validating a shared experience, maybe even a shared feeling of stress.
I like that. And what about compliments? The outline mentioned, I really like your presentation yesterday. That feels safer than, say, complimenting someone's clothes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Complimenting appearance can feel a bit too personal, maybe even awkward, especially as an opener. We want to steer clear of that initially. The smart play is what we might call strategic complimenting. Focus on effort, skill, something work-related they did. So, I really like your presentation, or that report was really clear. That works perfectly. It acknowledges their competence, their effort, builds professional respect much better than commenting on, a sweater. And sometimes it's even simpler. The sources had that little exchange, remember,
Yeah.
where they just agreed Mondays always feel like email days.
Right?
It's that tiny moment of shared understanding. Ah, you get it too. That's what makes the connection start to form. It's simple, but effective. Okay, that makes sense. And that leads us nicely into the next bit, using those informal settings and showing a bit of light curiosity.
You know those natural breaks? Grabbing coffee, waiting by the microwave, walking to the parking lot. These seem like prime moments to seem approachable, right?
Gold mines, honestly. Because the context is already informal, it lowers the barrier. Makes you seem less like you're networking and more like you're just being friendly. But you have to be open. If you're glued to your phone during those times, you're basically putting up a do not disturb sign. Instead, having a few easy, ready-to-go phrases can make all the difference. Just something to gently open the door.
Okay, give us some specifics. Like, I'm standing there waiting for my lunch to heat up. What's a good line?
Keep it simple, tied to the situation. Lunchtime. Maybe, do you usually bring lunch, or do you brave the cafe downstairs? It invites a little story. Or if someone's food genuinely smells good. Oh, that smells amazing. What is that? A little recognition, totally harmless. And maybe the most direct, but still really effective one. I'm heading for a coffee refill, want to join. It's an offer, easy to accept, easy to politely decline. No big deal either way.
Right. And this seems like the perfect place to weave in that idea of light curiosity, showing interest in them as people, not just colleagues.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is the goal isn't to pry or become their therapist, not at all. It's about showing you actually see them. You recognize they have a life and interest outside of work tasks. It's basic human validation, really. So you use gentle questions, things that don't require a long explanation and are easy to pivot away from if needed. Like, do you usually listen to podcasts on your commute? Simple answer, maybe they share a title, maybe not. It's light. Or that slightly more complimentary one we saw. You always seem to have so much energy in the mornings. What's your secret? That's nice, isn't it? It's a compliment wrapped in a light question. Exactly. It shows you've noticed something positive. Again, you're not digging deep. You're just investing a little bit in making that person feel seen and valued. And that perception that you're someone who pays attention and values others, that pays huge dividends in trust and cooperation down the line. It's professional equity. Okay, this is all great for getting started and being friendly. But now we need to shift gears a bit. Section 3, the professional Polish, getting the do's and don'ts right.
Because, let's face it, while we want to be friendly, this is still work. There are boundaries.
This is absolutely critical. Think of small talk as part of your professional brand. So it has to stay positive, polite, and well-controlled. If you take away just one hard rule, make it this: keep negativity out of it. No complaining endlessly, avoid sensitive personal stuff, and absolutely positively no office gossip.
Let's dig into that gossip point.
Yeah.
Why is it so damaging, even if it feels like harmless information sharing? Because it instantly destroys trust. Think about it. If you're willing to gossip to me about someone else, then I know you'll gossip about me to someone else later.
Precisely. It signals that you're not trustworthy, maybe not loyal, and definitely not focused on building a positive environment. It undermines everything you're trying to achieve with good small talk. It marks you as unprofessional, fast.
Okay, got it. Avoid gossip like the plague. So to keep things positive and professional in the delivery, the research pointed to 4 key tips. Seemingly small things, but they matter.
Smile when you speak. Apparently, it literally changes how your voice sounds, makes it warmer.
It really does. An audible difference.
Use open body language. Don't stand there with your arms crossed or hide behind your laptop. Be physically receptive.
Inviting, yeah. Third, as we just hammered home, avoid gossip. And fourth, keep it short and light. Respect people's time. Don't trap them. That brevity is key. And we saw how effective these positive, polite exchanges can be in that compliment example. Remember, person A says, your presentation was really clear. Person B says thanks, but admits, oh, I was actually pretty nervous.
Right, and the crucial follow-up from person A isn't dwelling on the nerves. No, it's reinforcing the positive outcome. Really, you couldn't tell at all. You seemed totally confident. So it's more than just being nice. It's like you're actively validating their success despite their own feelings.
Exactly. It's like active workplace maintenance. You're smoothing things over, boosting confidence, making the shared space feel more supportive. When vulnerability gets that kind of positive reinforcement, that builds a much better, more productive environment for everyone.
That's a great way to put it. Which brings us perfectly to the final piece, the graceful exit. Just as important as starting well is ending well, right?
You've made the connection, kept it positive. Now, how do you wrap it up smoothly without making the other person feel like you're suddenly dismissing them?
Yeah, the ending really cements the whole interaction. You don't want to leave them feeling awkward or like they just wasted their time, or worse, your time. The best approach uses phrases that are professional, clear, and often subtly place the reason for ending the chat on something external, a task, a meeting, the time.
So instead of just abruptly turning away, what are some good lines? Specific techniques. Think of it as the time constraint close. Something like, all right, well, I should probably jump back to this report. Clear, professional, task-focused. Or a simple, warm closing. Well, it was really nice chatting with you. Maybe adding, hopefully we can grab that coffee later this week.
But be careful with that last one, right? Let's catch up later. Only say it if you actually mean it, otherwise it can feel a bit hollow.
Good point. Absolutely. If you don't genuinely intend to follow up, a safer bet is just a universally positive close, like, okay, great talking, have a great afternoon.
Simple, warm, closes the loop.
Exactly.
And all these exit strategies reinforce the main idea we've been exploring. Professional small talk doesn't need to be long. It definitely shouldn't be deep or overly personal.
It's about being brief, respecting boundaries, and fundamentally just connecting, making the workplace feel a little more human, a little easier to navigate for everyone involved.
So what does this all mean? If you're listening and you want to turn that anxiety about starting conversations at work into real, actual confidence, it boils down to these key things we found.
Start small, start strategically, use those light, friendly openers, maybe referencing a shared situation or offering a genuine, relevant compliment.
Stay positive. Relentlessly. Avoiding the negative stuff, especially gossip, is non-negotiable for building real trust. And third, maybe the most important bit, listen. Actually listen to the response, because showing you heard them, validating their point or feeling, that's where the real connection happens. That's the currency of rapport.
Well said. And maybe here's a final thought for you to take away, something to chew on based on all this. If small talk is really just about making those connections, making work feel more human, who's one person in your immediate work circle? Maybe someone you usually only talk to about tasks, or perhaps even kind of avoid. Could you pick one of these light, high probability openers we talked about, just a simple, how's the morning treating you, or that strategic compliment, and make one brief connection today? Just one, something that wasn't there yesterday. Forget about trying to have deep, meaningful conversations all the time. Focus instead on that consistent, warm, brief connection. Because that consistency, that's how you turn these strategies into genuine, lasting confidence.